and welcome back to Star Wars The Force Unleashed on Steam. I'm One Well Sheep yet again, and now we've got a brand new ability, folks, as we're about to take on Planet Felucia and take care of Shark T. This, folks, is the Force Repulse, as the game just said in its text. If you hold down LT, which is your block button, and push the B button, you're going to be able to shoot out a gigantic, massive shockwave, which will, obviously, send people flying away. It's the equivalent of Chaos Blast in Shadow the Hedgehog. Basically, you shoot a force field, and it's very good for crowd control. It is a move I really recommend you taking advantage of. Doesn't do too much damage to the enemies, unfortunately, but it is very useful just because, particularly in this level, you can find yourself getting overwhelmed by tons and tons of enemies, because these Felucians are they're the main bad guys. Well, technically we're the Sith, so technically we're the bad guy of the story, but for sake of gameplay, they're the bad guys we're taking care of. And they love to crowd you. There's loads of them, and they're very annoying. And to make things worse, they are also one of the more annoying enemies to fight, purely because they have the ability to simply... They can duel. They have sword abilities, which means sometimes you're striking them, they'll be able to parry your attacks, and they'll also occasionally block, which makes things slightly more tedious when dealing with them. Of course, obviously, the Force powers will still annihilate anything. This is the Force Unleashed, you know, yes. And what you saw there was a Felucian actually holding the other Felucian's hand. That's a special feature. Like I mentioned before, the physics engine and the AI engine in this game is actually very impressive. Like the physics engine I already explained, where everything explodes and acts like it should. But the way the enemy AI sort of works is whenever you're holding the enemy with your glorious force powers, I don't know if it's something called Euphoria, I think that's the name of it. Basically, the AI will turn around and they will try to protect themselves by grabbing onto objects and enemies in the environment. So if you're good enough, you can actually sort of chain enemies together and sort of have them all linking arms and have like a train of enemies just sort of, whoa, get me off this wild ride, you know? But anyway, this area by here, I don't mind this area. It's a neat little platforming sort of shindig. It's not actually a platforming area before you people cry, because, like I said, the jumping mechanics aren't the best in this game. Platforming is quite difficult. This is more of a platforming area in that you have to make your way up, and you can do some optional jumps and to either make shortcuts or to get optional hidden power-ups that are hidden within. Although one thing I have to say, I love the way this world looks. I love the look of Felucia. It's just... the art style of this world is just amazing. You've got all these magical, amazing, massive flowers. And they all look really slimy and organic, and I don't know, I just love the way the things look in this level, you know? But anyway, this is probably the most tedious part of the stage right now. I'm going to say that right away. Just climbing up this. I don't mind this area, but in terms of commentary, this is pretty fun to play, but in terms of commentating over it, it's not really much going on, so it's going to be quite annoying. But this area, there's not much going on. It's the same old run up, jump on things, occasionally find hidden power-ups, like that one right on that pathway. Because what you see is the pathways sort of intersect with each other, and they sort of crisscross, kind of like a DNA. I think. A DNA. I guess DNA does crisscross with itself. Like this has a helix effect. So yeah, and god damn it, there's nothing worse than falling off, because when you fall off this, you have to climb all the way back up, and it takes a long time. But yeah, it's still a fairly simple area, not much going on. One of the biggest threats in this particular level, though, is the plants, because as you saw a minute ago, there's a plant that's shooting like poisonous spit, I guess, at me. They are evil, because you're going to be fighting enemies, you're going to be ambushed by enemies a lot, and then you're going to have these plants popping around, and they're going to be spitting at you and just whittling down your health just a tiny bit, you know. Not enough to be a threat, but enough to annoy you. Which is worse than being a threat, because if it's a threat, then I'll panic and go, right, I gotta take the plant out first. But if all it does is annoy me, I don't really consider it a threat, I just consider it a nuisance, and I sort of leave it alone until last, and I know it's more of an issue with the way I play the game, but that's beside the point, because I'm the best game player ever, and whoa, that was weird. It looked like the vine was trying to attack me then, Jesus. That's creepy. But anyway, popping up here, we'll get the unstable red lightsaber crystal, and like I said, there are 3 types of lightsaber crystals, at least I think I said this previously, where there's a stable, you know, there's a compressed, normal, and unstable, and they all look slightly different. I don't really show off the compressed or unstable crystals at all during this playthrough, because I don't really see the point, and I don't pick up every lightsaber in the game either. I just pick up the ones that I know from memory, and considering the last time before this playthrough that I played this game was about good few years ago. Actually, when did this game come out actually? Because I think that was the last time I played this game fully. I got the game case right here. Xbox Live, blah 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 blah. It came out in 2008, so it's 2015 now. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I haven't played this in 7 years. Sweet mother of God. It doesn't feel that long. I feel old. I'm not even gonna count the Mega Drive when I used to play that as a kid, because I'm gonna feel really old. But yeah, it's still a pretty fun ride, you know. And I love the way these things, as you can see, there's loads of teeth popping out of the ground. Well, with the exception of this one. Oh, that looks awfully bouncy. The teeth are stuck in the ground by here. I love the way they look when you rip them out of the ground, because it just feels organic, and it's like you're literally ripping it out, and it's got this gooey effect to it. I don't know, I just love it. It makes me tingly inside. Is that normal? Probably not. But anyway, what am I doing? I just went past a holocron. That tooth right there, you'll see it has a bit of a glow to it. Inside that tooth, there's actually a holocron. I'm being an idiot, and I'm completely ignoring it. So, yeah, if you're missing a holocron, and there's one in there. But one thing that might throw people off is if you look at the mini-map at the top left of the screen, we're outside the map. Whoa. Yeah, it's a bit of a dick move on LucasArts' part. Basically, in order to hide certain collectibles, they put collectibles in the beaten path, and sometimes they don't even include the beaten path on the minimap, which can be a bit annoying. It took me so long to find that holocron my first time playing through the game. It's a dick move, what can I say? I think they do this like a couple of times with a couple of holocrons in the game. And actually, now that I think about it, it's always in this world they do that, because spoiler alert, we actually return to this world at a later point in the game, and don't worry, it's not going to be the same repetitive stuff. They change this world quite a bit. Like, one of the big things about this game is, from what I remember, the developers are actually going on about making the game world change as you're playing through the game, so they take you back to old areas later on just to see how things have changed. Like, at the very first level of the game, we were on Kashyyyk, you know, the Wookiee homeworld. And pretty soon, I actually might be at the next level. We're going to be heading there as good old Starkiller ourselves. Actually, it might not be the next level. I could be wrong. I don't remember the level order, right? It's been a good 3 weeks since I recorded this footage. But anyway, we're coming up to a new enemy type. That big orange? My god, I can't colour. Yellow guy by here. He's not a Super Saiyan, don't worry about that. He is no real Super Saiyan. But he is a nuisance to take care of. Force powers are your big friend against this guy. 'Cause these guys, what I find they do is they block almost everything you throw at them. And whenever all the Felucians, what's going on with that thing there? All the Felucians, basically, whenever they're blocking, they're immune from your normal force push. So what I recommend is just picking them up using your RT button and just flinging them off the side somewhere. Oh yay! Rancor! Oh, do you guys remember this beauty from... I didn't want to pick you up. Do you guys remember this beauty from the glorious, glorious days of episode 4, 5, and 6? I actually can't remember which film he was in. I think it might have been 6. But I know I do! And you remember how big an issue Luke had fighting these guys? In that, he never actually really fought it, now that I think about it. Anyway, Rancors aren't that big a deal if you know what you're doing. Now, the best way to take these guys down is be at a distance, throw things at them, and so try and whittle down their health that way. Or, as like I said with the giant golem in the previous part, just using your Sith electricity thingy and hopefully you can stun lock him. Because that's one of the best things about the Sith electrical lightsaber moves is you can stun lock enemies. Which I haven't really brought up. Which basically means enemies are screwed. Of course, you might have seen some of these enemies by here. They look like they have Kaioken going on. They're glowing red and whatnot. That's because they have a leader in the area. Now the leaders are usually red and they're not that big a deal. They're quite easy to kill. But I do recommend going straight to the leader, straight off, to take them out, which will disable all these enemies' Kaioken attacks, allowing you to just annihilate them. Because whenever they are in Kaioken mode, I'm going to keep calling it Kaioken because Dragon Ball's awesome, and I've been in a Dragon Ball mood recently with a new game coming out and all. Yay. But, when they're in that mode, they do extra damage, they block more attacks, and overall, they're just a lot more difficult to take care of, and I don't think I've ever actually managed to kill any of these guys when they're in Kaioken mode, so there's that. Also, as you can see, the giant yellow Super Saiyan guy, he'll also shoot energy blasts at you if you're at a distance from it, so just pay attention to that. Makes me really glad to have Force Repulse, or Chaos Blast, as I'm going to call it from now on, because screw it, Sonic the Hedgehog. And you know my way with my games, Sonic the Hedgehog's one of my favourite games out there, and I just love my gotta go fast! Oh no, at least his train is. Uh-oh, gotta speed up. And if anyone watching this channel is not a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, my reference is gonna be completely lost on them. But anyway, we're pretty much halfway done with this level now, so with that folks, let's just kill this guy. Bye bye, sucks to be you. With that folks, we're gonna be ending right now. So thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish people, and my game crashed. Oh, whoop-de-doo, I hope you guys like my wallpaper by the way. So yeah, with that folks, I'm gonna call it a part here, so thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish, and when we return next time, we're gonna be continuing onwards with the rest of Felucia. Thanks for watching, I'll see you after. Bye!